Yeah. Hey guys, real quick before we log you, the only history that matters. You should ask Patrick about his superhero Minecraft game. It's fun. You get to see our terrible program by beating the hell out of me. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so, before I go past there, I want to, just in case you can't read or something, this video is about, the basically Star Wars fanfic which we made, which is awesome. Um,
A
uh,
collaborative storytelling game.
yes. Um, and this is basically the chronology, just in case you can't read.
The only history documentary that matters.
Yeah. Okay, so
Star Wars, man.
so we're going to go through each year with a 20-minute timer. We can do less, but not more, because, I have to go to bed at some point or something.
Loser.
I know, right? And this will be the first 14 years, or the entire prequel era. And
Yeah, so
we
everything
will
up
start
until Padme die.
with the Phantom Menace. Alright, so, Mason, start us somewhere.
Okay, so you want to talk about what happened on Naboo, since I was involved in that, and that was the beginning.
Okay, well, on Naboo, they did everything exactly as they were supposed to in the movie.
Except Dooku was there.
Okay, so you were involved with that part, though, so I was gonna wait
I
for
was?
that. So everything up to, I don't know, everything up to the Jedi Council meeting is the exact same, except Jar Jar doesn't swear his life debt. He just comes with them for shits and giggles,
Thanks, Jar Jar.
Thanks, Jar Jar.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. So, they, of course, that means Palpatine sent Darth Maul after them and everything, and then when they got to the Jedi Council, Yoda was like, well, I can see the future because I saw the movies, and he sent Count Dooku to help us not die.
And by us, you're Qui-Gon, and
yes, me being Qui-Gon, and then my Padawan
James
Obi-Wan.
was Yoda.
Yeah,
and then
James was Yoda. Gunnar was Obi-Wan.
Carter's Dooku.
Carter's Dooku. Oh, I don't know.
Tell her she's being recorded.
Anyway. So, did you do anything those days?
Plagueis!
Well, I mean, okay, so you tried to kill Plagueis, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I tried to roofie Plagueis, but then he just didn't eat or drink anything around me.
Yeah, because he was like, I know this trick. Because, okay, so what was your plan there? Like, he...
do what OG did and just fucking stab him in his sleep.
Yeah, but also...
I didn't know he was a player, to be fair.
Well, why would he decide to not eat or not sleep his entire life if he wasn't a player?
Okay, that's fair.
And then you invite him out for drinks because you think he'd fall for that?
I wasn't as acclimated to only batshit insane things working in this game.
Yeah, okay.
That's the next day. Oh god.
And then, so then, before you guys did that, or, well, actually, no, at the same time you were doing that, Darth Maul was fighting, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan over here on Naboo, and also Count Dooku. I keep forgetting he was there. And that was the first of our great battles in this game. And basically it played out the exact same until they got to the force fields at the end. And at that point, Obi-Wan and Dooku both got trapped behind the force fields. Oh, well, so did Qui-Gon technically, but he was at the very front. So the force fields opened up. Qui-Gon came out and attacked Darth Maul, and then Count Dooku running as fast as an 80-year-old man can. He got out right as the field closed, but Obi-Wan didn't, just like in the movie. And he got out just in time to see Darth Maul stab Qui-Gon, who is his apprentice, and he's probably somewhat emotionally attached to him because he's, I mean, okay, so if he was just like a normal Jedi, I would be like, oh yeah, okay, you can forget. But he's Dooku, so he's already fallen to the dark side at some point. Not in this game, but in canon, he falls to the dark side. So, I was thinking like, oh, okay, this can be how he turns. And then Carter was just like, no, it's not.
Thanks, Carter.
Yeah, thanks, Carter.
Oh god, he set the whole crate thing into motion by doing that.
Yeah, he did. We'll get there in about 30 minutes, probably, at the rate we're going.
Yeah. And then nothing else really happened the rest of that day.
He charges up and attacks Maul. Okay. And, they basically, their lightsaber, he completely outmatches him with lightsabers, but Darth Maul uses his force abilities to knock him into the chasm, and he holds on just like Obi-Wan did, and wow, I found a plot hole just now.
Which was?
He would have lost his lightsaber there into the pit.
Who, Maul?
He actually ends up losing his lightsaber later. No, Dooku.
Oh, he picked it up with the Force. It's fine.
Yeah, he held on to it with his other hand with the Force. Yes, because he only needs one hand to hold his entire body weight. And then Darth Maul taunts him just like he did with Maul or with Obi-Wan in the movie. And then Obi-Wan just comes up from behind him and cuts him in half when the thing's open.
Oh god, so great.
I know. That was my favorite part of that. So, anyway, then they...
Was there something with Kamino?
Stuff. What?
Was there something with Kamino? We have a picture of it.
Oh, yeah. This is when you decided to do the whole Clone Army thing.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, because he fucking left me.
Light cider.
Damn you!
Damn you, Dooku. Damn you. Or, damn you, Carter. Anyway, so that was 32 BBY. It was pretty normal. Especially compared to the bullshit we're doing right now. Or, well, not right now, but every time except right now. So, anyway, moving on.
I mean, there's ongoing bullshit with Padme getting splattered.
Yeah.
Since today's the day it comes back, that'd be today,
right.
But whatever. Anyway, 31 BBY.
So, nothing really much happened here.
I assassinated Senator Valorum after I kicked him out of office.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to talk about that in 32 BBY. Yeah, there was the whole vote of no confidence thing. Which you, for some reason, thought it was a vote of little faith. Which I still think is hilarious.
I mean, the words are similar, it's fine.
Yeah, but a vote of no confidence is a real thing. Of course, not in American politics, but still.
Yeah.
They
Exactly.
literally had one in England, like, last year.
Yeah, well, I'm not British, am I?
Well, it was a big deal. Anyway, we're not here to talk about British politics.
Not
Um,
yet.
so he killed Valorum because why?
Cause Vorum, he fucking hates me.
Okay.
And he's, rallying people against
And
me.
he
And he,
knew too much or something.
yeah, like, Cypher DS.
Like
Yeah, Cypher,
Sifo-Dyas. Yeah.
who is also this day, I think.
No, that was in 32 BBY. Yeah,
Okay.
Sifo-Dyas is dead too.
Not Cypher DS.
Yeah, and then the only other things are, this is when, Anakin gets taken as a Padawan by, Grandmaster Yoda instead of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Which
Because
screwed something up pretty bad.
Yeah. Because James thought he could do a better job than Gunnar. Which might have been true.
Yeah, just still not as good as Obi-Wan, but
Yeah, well,
anyway.
Gunnar is Obi-Wan.
No, I mean like real Obi-Wan. Or quote-unquote real.
Yeah. Quote unquote real.
And then we had Kiadi having some
Yeah,
fun.
or no, it wasn't Kiadi. That is actually a picture of an act dog attacking the Jedi on Malastare. That was
Yeah,
a
but I
Mace
get
Windu chronicle.
Yeah, that doesn't matter too much, so...
Yeah,
30 BBY?
that didn't matter too much. 30 BBY.
Oh god, which plan should I start off on? 30 BBY. I have two.
Yeah, do whichever one you think is less ridiculous first.
I'll do the shorter one first. Okay, so... There's this guy called Ashrad Het, and he's under Kiadi Mundi. So I have the plan to have
And
person...
since Count Dooku didn't go to the dark side.
Yeah, which is why I'm recruiting Ashrad Het in the most painful way possible. So step one, or some of these things changed since they wouldn't work out, but this is the original plan. So Aura Singh goes and kidnaps Kiadi. Then person B, which was originally Ventress, but that didn't work out, cuts his limbs off, fuses his limbs back together so he can't move, and then insert muscle maggots into him. And then Aura is out kidnapping Ashrad Het, who gets muscle maggots in his forearm, and then he has to eat those out, and then he has to watch Mundi die, and then we stick him in a sensory deprivation take for a year, and then I set up faking his death. So, any comments on that?
So, just so you guys understand what he just said, because I barely did. He had Aura Singh kidnap Ashrad Het, who is a Tusken Jedi, the Padawan of Kiadi Mundi.
Which is actually important.
This is important. And in Legends, he is Darth Krayt. He then so he kidnapped Ashrad Het and Kiadi Mundi, and then he had actually hired Aura Singh, Cad Bane, and Jango Fett together to do that.
Jango.
Oh, thanks, Jango. And Jango Fett, without Palpatine knowing, he actually takes Anya Kuro and Adigalia and brainwashes them into his service because he can do that.
He refuses to acknowledge it as brainwashing.
Yeah,
but...
I know. They were... It was consensual brainwashing.
After being threatened.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, so while my bounty hunters are doing that, I am getting a Jedi starfighter, which I rig with explosives.
No, there's one thing I need to say before you do that.
Oh, okay.
Darth Plagueis, on this day, decides to hire Jango Fett to, in case of Darth Plagueis' death, destroy every single thing Darth Sidious has over using any means necessary.
Oh, those means. Oh God.
Oh, those means.
So right after he does that, I described to Patrick how I steal a Jedi Starfighter, which I rig with explosives. I get 5 IG assassin droids to go sit at a cave on Mustafar, which had a Force Nexus in it, which just makes you more powerful. Then I bring a freaking excavator nearby, and then I'm like, hey, Plagueis, I kind of wanted to overthrow you, but I found a way to live immortal if we both go to this cave and want to rule together. He's like, sure. And then there's a changeling who gets to the rigged fighter while we're in the cave, and then the fighter with the changeling who looks like a Jedi shoots Plagueis' ship, and then all the IG units start shooting the ground. So me and Plagueis are like, oh my god, Jedi. So we start running out, but then all the IG units suicide bomb the entrance of the cave, collapsing onto Plagueis. And then while he's down there, I use the Force Nexus to super electrocute his body. And then I use the excavator to get me out. And then I explode the fighter with the changeling in it.
I thought the excavator was supposed to crush Plagueis' body even more.
Oh, it does that too, but it's also how I get out of the cave.
Okay.
And then I use the Force Nexus to raise the lava level near there so there's no evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty fun.
That one was probably the most... Like, okay, so that one, I literally... I walk up to him at school, and I asked him, do you want
not me, but
Plagueis to go with him? He wants to repent and bring you to immortality crystals. And he actually says yes, and then I'm like, well, fuck, you're dead.
Immortality crystals.
Immortality crystals.
Oh god.
So then because I mean, it's not even like he had a chance to live. Like, you killed him so many different ways in like 30 seconds. I mean,
I was pretty thorough with that.
You were. You've never been that thorough since then.
No, I got a bit too much in the Palpatine cocky mindset, you know. I was like, it all works out because everyone loses except for me.
Everyone loses except Palpatine.
At this point in the game, we're starting to enter the phase of everyone wins except for Alex, but that's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Oh god. Anything else on 30?
I don't think so.
It's just me killing people horribly.
Asherad Het turns to the dark side.
Yeah, but it doesn't really help him since he's just in a pod by himself.
Okay. So then we get to 29 BBY.
Oh god, this was something.
Yeah, so this...
It's all downhill from here.
This was the year where everything happened. So it started off with Jango Fett starting to do his stuff for Plagueis with, taking over Death Watch, and then, with his little Jedi friends, and then...
Death Watch card by the basement window, so that's nice.
Using them as, I can't remember exactly how he did it, but he made them the police force of Mandalore.
Oh, that whole thing, yeah, that...
Like, he and, like, the public forced Satine to let him, basically. And this was also the day the Jedi started looking into the disappearance of those 4 Jedi, which I mentioned on the 28 BBY slide. Ki-Adi-Mundi, Anya Kuro, Adi Gallia, and Asherad Het. Lots of A's.
Yeah, not Sifo.
Not Sifo Dyas. And they sent Obi-Wan Kenobi and Count Dooku to do that. They ended up going to getting led off track because I actually asked Mason. I don't know why I'm talking about you like I'm not talking to you. I asked you that what you wanted to do, like where you wanted to misdirect them, and you said the hut space, right?
Oh yeah, hut space.
Hut space.
For Gardula.
For Gardula. So
Yeah, and then
we your agents, probably Cad Bane, right? Yeah, but you had Cad Bane.
It was Aura Singh, remember, because I wanted her dead.
No, because Cad Bane got hired by the Jedi to help them find the Jedi who he helped kidnap.
Yeah, that whole thing.
So
But
Palpatine just paid him like
later
a ton of money to betray them and lead them on the wrong course. And he did, and basically what they found at the scene of the crime was a strong presence of the dark side, so they couldn't sense anything. And Aura Singh's little bounty hunter's log or whatever, which says that she got a bounty from Gardula the Hutt to, I can't remember which one, they kidnapped Ki-Adi-Mundi. Yeah, that's what it was.
He's the quite important one.
Yeah, because he's the most important of the four. And they go to Gardula the Hutt's house. They don't find Gardula the Hutt because she's a sneaky little, I don't know.
Little?
Little?
She's a sneaky slug.
Sneaky slug.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're at Gardula's house.
So they go to Gardula's house and they don't find Gardula, but they find Aura Singh, who jumps out of the rafters and attacks them, and then I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was like really short. Because
they fucking killed her.
Obi-Wan, she took his lightsaber, and then he used the Force to try to pull the lightsaber out of her hand, and then Cad Bane, covering up his tracks, just shot her in the head. While she didn't have her lightsaber.
Which is great, because I really wanted her dead to that.
I mean, that's what you told them to do. Make it look like an accident, you know? It's perfect.
Yeah.
So, for some reason, they didn't go after Gardula. Oh, yeah, and they also found Ki-Adi-Mundi's mangled corpse in Gardula's house.
And lightsaber.
Yeah, with the lightsaber. And they figure out that he's got lightsaber wounds, so that means it could have been Aura Singh, but it might not be. And at the scene of the crime, they had found hair from Anya Kuro, which you planted there, by the way.
Okay, that's just hilarious that they used the lightsaber marks, even though it was his own lightsaber that did it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like lightsabers have different marks.
I know, but
except maybe Kylo Ren's, but
they failed successfully, so it worked out. You know?
Yeah, they failed successfully. So they try to find Anya Kuro now, and it leads them to Jango Fett, and Cad Bane can't stop them from finding out that it was him. And they track him using his ship's hyperspace signature or whatever,
Yeah.
Kamino, where they find the clone army, like 7 years early, and
Sifo Dyas died for nothing.
Sifo Dyas died for nothing. Yeah. Oh god. No, he died for something. You'll see. Yeah. So, then. So Gunnar has been running this whole investigation, Obi-Wan, this entire time. And he's the one making these stupid decisions, but also these really good decisions. And then he had to leave for, like, dinner or something when we did this. And he put Carter in charge of interrogating Alex and Jango Fett. And he being himself decided to use a mind trick on Jango Fett, which he's built up an immunity to because he's a Mandalorian. And
The Mandalorian.
What?
Kind of a Mandalorian. That's pretty iffy, but
That's
he moves in the Mandalorian way.
It's not iffy. He's literally from Concord Dawn. But anyway, he's built up a tolerance to these mind tricks, and Carter tries to do one on him, and it's like, first it's like, tell me where the Jedi are. And he answers with a lie. Or, well, it's not really a lie. It's more of just, like, dodging the question, which is really weird because that means he would probably know that it isn't a mind trick.
I mean, I don't know why he didn't just rat Palpatine out, since that's his goal.
Okay, so he was trying to go for a more subtle plan than that. I mean, okay, so...
How is it subtle?
Well, it didn't go the way he wanted it to.
Oh god.
This is not gonna go the way you think, dude. I've been referencing The Last Jedi a lot for some reason during this game.
It really sticks with you.
It does. So Carter then, since he thinks it worked, even though he literally just dodged the question, while under the influence of a mind trick. He thinks it worked, though. So, he tells him to wire him 5,000 credits. And then he does. And
even though Dooku is one of the richest people ever.
I think he forgot that for a second. I can't remember exactly, though. So then, he... Because I don't really know why. This is the biggest mystery of the game. He decides, even though he just did everything he wanted him to do, he's still going to kill him. So, I think he said something about, like, recently, he said something about it being, like, he was too dangerous to be kept alive.
Hey, that's a me plan.
Yeah, it is. Carter's learning from the greats here.
Yeah, he is. Even though he's about to die of old age.
Yeah. So he attacks him, like, draws his lightsaber, and then Jango Fett draws his guns really fast, or, well, one of his guns, and then shoots him, and he deflects it, and then everything blows up. Not literally, but, you know.
Yeah, well, Death Watch jumps out of a fucking window.
No. So Obi-Wan tries to pull Jango Fett's gun out of his hand. It works. Then the entire window blasts out when Death Watch commandos storm the building. Like a squad of Death Watch commandos storm the building. and the Jedi are just like, well, screw this. Oh, and also Jar Jar is with them now because of course he is, because Yoda thought it would be funny. That's literally his given reason. And I was just like, all right. And they run out to the place where their ship is parked, the landing platform, and then they turn around and start shooting, and then the Death Watch people pull out their shields, and then the Carter jumps in their spaceship and pulls out the frickin' turrets, and then they just blast it out of the sky with the rockets, and Dooku jumps out of the ship and uses the Force to crash the entire burning ship into the building. And the Death Watch people just like fly off with their jetpacks, and Jango Fett pulls out his other gun and his gauntlet thing on his other arm, and grappling hooks Dooku's lightsaber while he's falling, and aims his gun at it. And because not only does he grapple it, but Dooku also uses the Force to keep it like suspended, like the Last Jedi again. And Cad Bane shoots him in the head, but it like deflects, like, because that's where he gets the dent from. Just like in, well, I'm not sure if it actually happened in Legends. I know they were planning on doing it in Clone Wars, but you know, it got canceled, so that didn't happen.
Yeah, they never did it in Clone Wars.
Anyway, so he actually got the dent from Cad Bane in this, which is awesome. And then he shoots Dooku's lightsaber, blowing it up, and now Dooku has nothing except, well, the Force and his the fact that he's spry for an 80-year-old man. And
all Mandalore is shooting at him.
And Alex just gets pissed at this point. So he tells all 7 of his Mandalorian commandos to start using kill shots on Dooku all at once and just ignore everybody else. So he's got this rain of lasers coming at him. And he actually gets away. Like, he just takes off running, and he gets away. And he tries to go for the Slave One, and tries to steal it, but then Alex uses its autopilot function to lift off without
the ground.
So now, they're all prisoners, and the gigantic diplomatic crisis ensues.
So, the thing is, that almost... Yeah, I'm going to next year, but that almost started a war, but it didn't.
Yeah. So,
but then, so we send people on diplomacy.
No. Don't go on to next year yet.
Okay.
So, let's talk about that diplomatic crisis for a second, though. That lasted like 3 hours. Wasn't that so horrible?
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. Okay, let's backtrack for a second, though, because there was another thing which happened in this year. That little green ship up there, that is, you finally get to know what that is. So, Anakin and Yoda went to Zonama Sakat to learn about the disappearance of the Jedi Knight, Verger, and they learn about the Far Outsiders, and then Tarkin shows up, and they get this beautiful ship from the Sakatans, and Tarkin is like, hey, I'll fucking kill you all if you don't give me your cool ships. And then they don't give him the cool ships. So then Anakin goes around and just destroys hundreds of vulture droids, Tarkin's vulture droids, and then the entire fucking planet jumps to hyperspace. And then James, being the only player in this situation, was extremely confused.
Yeah.
And then, to top that off, he threatened Tarkin. He was like, yeah, if you ever screw around with the Jedi like that again, there's gonna be consequences. And then, I didn't tell him this, but I laughed so hard when he said that.
I mean, he set up Tarkin hating the Jedi, so it works.
Yeah, see how it all connects? It works.
True canon.
A true canon.
Then that was it for this year.
Now back to that diplomatic crisis that came after Jango Fett's assassination attempt.
I'm going to go into order of the speaker notes on this one, just because, oh god. So, war almost broke out because of that shit with the Mandalorians, but not quite. So, we send several people on an acclimator to go to Mandalore to talk about.
That's still in the next day, isn't it?
Oh, I thought we were moving to next day.
No, we're staying on the same day.
Sorry, nothing else happens with the diplomatic crisis.
I want to talk about the demands, though.
Okay. Oh,
so the demands, which Jango Fett didn't want, but the Mandalorian people kind of forced him into it because they're very willful, especially in this game.
Oh god.
Yeah, you know that. Anyway, they wanted not amnesty, but like they didn't want Jango Fett to have the issues with whatever crime he was supposedly.
They wanted him pardoned.
They wanted him pardoned. They wanted the Jedi off of Mandalore. What was the other one? Like an apology. And then the Kaminoans wanted reparations for Carter crashing the ship into their home.
Thanks, Jedi.
And everybody agreed to that after 3 hours of debate. Because Jango Fett just wanted psychological evaluation for Carter. And you wanted what exactly?
A war.
A war. Okay, you wanted a war. James wanted a war. And Satine was just like, please, just stop this. The whole time. And then the people of Mandalore were doing these demands. And Yoda was like, well, if the Jedi get off of Mandalore, we're gonna be going back there pretty soon.
Yeah. When it's me, James, and Alex trying to argue over something, it takes a while.
Yeah. I was talking between the three of you, and then Alex was making these manifestos, and then James was over here like okay, so at one point I bring up the thing saying like why do you want to die? And then he said he said something crazy, and I'm like, why? You are all going to die. And then he said, we're all going to die anyway.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not. I mean, unless something goes very different in this universe. We haven't gotten there yet, you know.
They're not dead yet?
They're not dead yet. Jedi are still around. Anyway, I think that's it for this year, and we just hit that 20-minute mark. So, on to 28 BBY.
Should I just take this whole year?
If you want. I think everything's you. And me, actually.
Yeah, well, whatever. So, first thing. So, we just got the Jedi off Mandalore. So, we're sending, who? Yoda, Jar Jar...
Okay, no, not Yoda. It was Isla Sakura and Jar Jar Binks.
Okay, just them two. On an acclimator over the capital of Mandalore, and we're like, hey, we'll send them down for diplomacy. But then, I wired a message to Gardula to fucking explode the acclimator since I aligned it with Rhydonium earlier. So it splits apart. Jar Jar Binks fucking dies, and now there's just giant chunks raining on Mandalore, and so Alex starts shooting them down, which I later used as
fighters.
Yeah, and I later used that footage to prove that he did the initial
Yeah, you
explosion.
doctor the footage and give it to the public, and then they all
Yeah.
hate Mandalore. So they
Yeah.
want more. Mandalore doesn't now.
Which is hilarious because it's Mandalore. But then that all is going on. General Grievous gets made,
Yes.
and
Just in
the crime
case
syndicates
there's
side with Mandalorians.
Yeah.
And then
Oh
Mandalorian-
yeah. So basically, the Hutts and the Black Sun. You had said you had made the Mandalorians believe that they were scared about them, and then they made an alliance with them, and then that alliance, or an alliance just in case, so they wouldn't beat the hell out of each other. So then that actually ended up hurting you because you ended up going to war with the Hutts and Mandalore and the Black Sun, because the Black Sun got their leader assassinated by a Jedi, air quotes. It was actually one of Alex's. You didn't know
Oh,
that, did you?
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
No, I
So-
had never told you that one, but
I found out that they were assassinated, but I didn't ask by who.
yeah.
I might have heard the Jedi, but anyway, so Mandalorians and Crime Lords versus Jedi and droids. So Alex becomes Mandalore the Wrathful. Do you want to describe
yeah.
his 9/11
Okay.
adventure?
So, after war was declared, finally, and Palpatine got emergency powers,
Woo!
oh
Got
yeah,
that
we forgot
early.
to talk about your re-election, but it doesn't really matter because it went
Doesn't
smoothly.
matter at all.
It was just 4 years after 32. So, well, actually, it was this year then. Yeah. So, the election happened this year. And he got emergency powers, so now he's got unlimited terms.
Unlimited power!
Unlimited power. And, what was I actually talking about? Yes, Wrathful. So after the war was
9/11.
declared, the Mandalore, Jango Fett, oh yeah, and, Satine just kind of, got out of there, because she was like, well, we're at war now, my life's over, so, now Jango Fett's in charge, and, he decides, well, if we're at war with the Jedi, why not do a decisive strike upon them right now? So he sends a giant cargo ship filled to the brim with Rhydonium and crashes it into the Jedi Temple.
That's not even the
Killing
last
hundreds.
9/11 he does.
And then, to top that off, less than 30 in-game minutes later, he does the same thing to the Senate building.
And now it's just
then
fighters against the Senate building.
he sends a third one to go get blow up the Chancellor's office, specifically. Or, well, your private residence, actually. And,
Yeah,
just in case you weren't at the Senate building, because he was targeting you with these.
which is hilarious, because he should have used that foresight later for something else.
Yeah, but it's also hilarious because wasn't this at the time you were at the Holocron place? I feel like it was.
Holocron place?
Yeah,
Maybe I was either searching for artifacts and getting the Holocron, or just in the Senate building.
No, you weren't searching for the artifacts yet because you hadn't resorted to insanity.
I
Because
only
you
did
thought
that
this was
because
normal.
I needed something to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it out of malice. He just happened to give me a really good one
But
on
anyway.
accident.
That
Anywho.
third cargo ship never made it to your office or your personal residence place because I think it got shot down or something.
something like that, or stopped before it reached the planet.
So basically, it was literally 9/11. But instead of hitting the World Trade Center,
Washington.
they hit the Senate building.
I'm Washington, or no, I'm the Pentagon. I mean,
yeah. Well, no, the Jedi are the Pentagon.
Well, yeah, the Pentagon hit. Yeah,
yeah,
Washington.
And then the White House was the one that didn't hit. So.
Oh,
It was literally 9/11, but in Star Wars with nuclear weapons, basically.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex. Anyway, the Mandalorians then start rapid expansion. You'll be seeing this map up here, and you'll see as it gets progressively more blue for a while because the Mandalorians are beating the hell out of the Jedi.
Red's the Republic, and it doesn't stay red very much.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Even after we win.
So, 27 BBY. I think this was one of the boring years. Yeah. Okay.
Outbound flight and all that.
So, this was when the outbound flight happened because Palpatine had been preparing for this since the Far Outsiders were encountered by, or well, not encountered, but heard of by Yoda and Anakin. And
can I say something for reference real quick?
Yeah.
So Patrick was like, "Hey, you want to send out outbound flight?" And the way he said it, I thought he meant I should do it. So I said yes, even though it was a terrible idea.
I don't understand how people misunderstand the tone I put into those things.
Well, that time it wasn't even like, "Oh, please God," it's like, "Hey, you want to do this?"
Yeah.
Which if you said it with out loud, I might have.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, you sent it out, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is gonna be bad." The Yuuzhan
Vong.
And then Alex, out of the blue, since he owns, well, literally out of the blue on the map.
Yeah.
Since he owned the part of the place where they were going on their path, I was like, "Hey, Alex, do you want to, like, shoot them out of the sky so the Yuuzhan Vong don't come?" And he was like, "Sure." So, he sent...
Which is funny because he wants them later.
Yeah. So, this is where he gets 22 of his 24 20 of his 24 Jedi from. It's because the survivors of the outbound flight, or, well, not even just the survivors, because everyone survived. It was attacked by those little green ships, or, well, those little green ships, that was completely made up. It was Mandalorians. And they invaded the outbound flight and brainwashed every single person and made them terrorists on Coruscant.
It wasn't brainwashing.
Brainwashed 20,000 people. Thanks, Alex.
Oh god. Then he went with the infant.
Yeah, then there was the whole Infant of Shaw thing. So there was this crazy lizard dude who wanted to blow up Coruscant with a baby statue. Baby god statue. Babies are very important in this game. Of course, aren't they always?
Yeah, Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Is Baby Death Star?
Luke Dooku. Let's not forget about him.
What do you mean, Luke Dooku?
He doesn't exist. He was a concept.
Oh yeah, he was gonna try and.
I don't even. Where did that come from? We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Where will we get there?
So, the crazy lizard dude tries to blow up Coruscant with a baby statue, and he hires Mandalorian bounty hunters to help him get the statue, because he didn't actually, like, own it or anything. He had to get it out of the temple, like Indiana Jones, but with lizards and Mandalorians. And, the Mandalorians look it up, and they're like, "Hey, this thing's a super weapon." So, on his way there, while Palpatine is evacuating Coruscant because you got a notification about it from someone. I can't remember who it was though. And you tried to evacuate the planet, and then he shows up with a giant fleet of Mandalorian ships, attacks this tiny little cargo freighter, which had the guy with the infant on it, and they took him. Or, well, they killed him, and they took the infant. And then they just left.
Yeah. Then I had no idea what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, you were so confused that whole day. It was just extinction level event after extinction level event. And you were in the middle of all of them. Yeah, anyway, I think that's everything for 27. So then we move on.
Let me double check the notes. Camino and Coruscanti War.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, then we also started that terrorist war on Coruscant, the guerrilla war in the Undercity, which was pretty horrible for you, right?
Yeah, and it kind of led me to start doing concentration camps.
Yeah, you did Mandalorian concentration camps.
Yeah, because every single fucking Mandalorian was a spy, I swear to God.
Yeah, I mean...
You wanted to describe Camino and Quat?
Okay, yeah, those I was pushing for. So I was General Grievous now, since Qui-Gon died. And, I, being, the Mandalore the Wrathful's top lieutenant, was like, let's do a show of power and destroy their entire military manufacturing grid in one day. So
thanks, Patrick.
We had gotten to Camino, which is right here on the map, and it fell to us pretty easily, and we surrounded the fleet, which was at Rothana, and then we decided to orbital bombard the entire planet of Camino out of existence. Or, well, at least all life on the planet.
Yeah, or all surface life. There's probably some fish.
Yeah, there's some fish still there.
Yeah, which, that seems bad, but then we get to Quat.
But, before we did that, before we killed everybody there, we rescued all the clones and started raising them as Mandalorians.
And stole the technology, which is good, because I got to steal it back.
Yeah, well, no, the clones destroyed it all while they were doing their stuff. Anyway, we haven't gotten there yet. So then Kuat, we took out their army, or their future army at least, and now we needed to take out their navy. So, Kuat here, it's not anywhere near Mandalorian space. It's right here on the map, or no, it's right here. And we couldn't get to it. So, since we had the Hutts and the Mandalorians and the Black Sun and whoever, we had basically all the bounty hunters in the galaxy. So, we put out a gigantic bounty on Kuat shipyards. So, basically, their job was to hold it for as long as possible, and then, if the Republic takes it back, stop the gravity stabilizers and have the entire station crash into the planet, killing all life on the entire planet.
And guess what happened?
Guess what happened? Yeah, they didn't survive for long there. So,
next day,
everybody's dead. 26 BBY. This is where everything went bad.
I wish we put the stupid meme on this one. That we didn't think of that.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good idea.
Yeah. We could, but
do you want to talk about your thing here?
Okay, so, as a joke, I was scrolling through the super weapons section of Wikipedia because I thought it was funny. And then I saw Sky Laser, where they just channel the power of a planet's core into a laser gun and shoot it. And I'm like, whoa, that can blow up a moon. It'd be hilarious if I built one inside the Sith Temple under the Jedi Temple, just in case Alex gets here and risks everything. And so I was like, I'll do that. And then I started powering it up. And then Jango Fett was like, hey, can I come to Coruscant for some peace talks? And you want to start talking about that whole debate?
So they couldn't decide on where to put the peace talks. They knew it was going to be on Coruscant. Or, well, no, they didn't even know that.
I kept pushing for a Coruscant moon just because.
You pushed for Coruscant. Or you pushed for the Jedi Temple initially. And
oh, yeah.
Then Alex was like, no, I want it to be on Malachor 5 because it's symbolic. And then you were like, nobody lives there. And he's like, I don't care. And then James pitches in and he's like, I don't want it to be at the Jedi Temple just in case. Because I had given him a quote-unquote Force vision. Because I'm the Force. As in the Game Master. And the Mason finally convinces Alex to do it at the Jedi Temple, but now James doesn't want to. He wants to do it on, I can't remember what planet. Or no, he wanted to do it at the Senate building. Like, it would have been reasonable to do there.
Which is too far away from the Death Laser, so I'm like, no.
The Death Laser. So you say no. And then Alex is, like, backing out because he doesn't want to either. And now, Alex, you say on the moon of Coruscant just to stop Alex from backing out. And then he's like, but I want it on Coruscant.
So I'm like, hey, let's pick a fucking restaurant.
Yeah, so they say, choose a restaurant. So he picks a restaurant. And then I ask the question, but which restaurant?
Because damn you, Patrick. And so, who's the one guy called that Alex wanted to go to?
Alex wanted to go to Dexter Jettster's restaurant, or his diner, and from Attack of the Clones. But I know that that's too far away from the Jedi Temple for the laser to shoot it. And James is like, well, no, let's just choose a random restaurant. And then Mason's like, let's do the one down the street from the Jedi Temple because it's close to you already. And James is like, all right. And then Alex is like, no, I want Dex's.
So we were like, after a bunch of more arguing, we got takeout from Dex and brought it to the other restaurant. And for the record, I'm sending in a robot who uses a hologram to look like me.
Yeah. And Alex goes in to the restaurant. He brings General Grievous with him, who we forgot to mention when they made me that they decided to do a cortosis weave armor over the entire body of General Grievous, so he's basically unkillable.
Yeah.
And he like fought Darth Krayt and like removed his arms and stuff. So he's basically unkillable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that whole thing. We forgot about that.
Yeah, we did. That's why I mentioned it. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that was important because Geonosis, but whatever.
We walk in to the restaurant, and then the Death Laser shoots the moon, which is this picture.
Or no, actually, in this one, it didn't shoot the moon. So Alex steps in, everything goes white, but then Yoda gets empowered by the Force.
So everything blows up, and then Yoda becomes one with the Force.
And Kamehameha has the moon to deflect it.
The lights, the laser beam into Alex's ship, which just happens to have the moon on the other side. So Yoda
which originally
blows
had Boba on it,
the moon and kills Jango Fett at the same time. But
then, yeah, we were like, hey, should Grievous live? And we couldn't figure out, so we just flipped a coin and he won. Because it's the way the Force...
I'm going to say the cortosis protected me.
Yeah, I mean, you were still pretty, like, injured, but...
Yeah, probably. I was pretty cooked. not dead, but pretty cooked.
Just steamy.
Steamy. Steamy Grievous.
Oh, God.
So, and Anakin saw that whole thing go down because Yoda decided to bring him with him too. Like, okay,
To watch peaceful negotiations.
yeah,
And learn the way of the Jedi.
I would have been okay. I would have just killed everybody there if Anakin wasn't brought along. But since Yoda brought him, he got to live because the Force willed it.
Oh, God.
Isn't that insane? Think of what could have happened.
Oh.
Anyway,
And
other
then
things that
Alex
happened
was
that day.
fucking pissed.
Since I
Oh,
live,
God.
I'm pissed now because you were talking about how the Jedi used a giant laser beam to kill the Mandalore and sabotage the peace talks. And I was pissed and wanted to kill more Jedi, so I decided not to go to peace with you. Notice how much blue there is now on the
Or
map.
not Peace with the Republic. Is this when you teamed up with Palpatine?
Yes.
Or is that later?
So, I team up with Palpatine, and then Pre Vizsla here is like, what the hell, Grievous isn't even a human. He can't rule the Mandalorians, because, Jango Fett had decided that I was going to be next in line, even though Mandalorians traditionally don't have a line of succession. So, Pre Vizsla decides to take a bunch of armies and start a Mandalorian civil war. And you,
And then
with your new magical scrying and engine explosion powers, because you're
Yeah.
Palpatine, and why not?
So basically, scrying is just the thing I could do. The holocron we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
that just lets
I
me,
mean, I know why. It's still bullshit.
yeah, it lets me crush people's minds and transfer bodies, which Patrick accidentally gave me that holocron, which was great. And then, so I scry Pre Vizsla's ship, and then I use pyrokinesis to ignite the fuel and blow up the entire fucking ship,
The
which is
entire
how I,
fleet.
yeah, the entire fleet, which is how I made friends with Grievous.
Oh, and the reason he didn't do this with Alex before is because, well, for the first part of the war, he didn't have these powers. But for the second part, he did, but he used the power of his Jedi mind slaves, all 24 of them, to protect him from, Palpatine's force powers. Because...
Which, of course, is not how it works, but...
So, it kinda is for the, mind, or the body transfer thing, but...
Yeah, but for the scrying thing, you can only do yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine, because we
Well,
rest
I
on
mean,
it
you
later.
could still scry him, you just couldn't do anything to him.
Oh, yeah, right.
So anyway, he helps me end the Civil War, so Pre Vizsla's fucking dead now. And I am Mandalore. I don't have a Mandalorian name, though, which is kind of sad. Only Mandalore the Wrathful gets one of those. So, anyway,
God.
25 BBY. Let's see what happened here. Okay, yeah. So, when Alex died, he chose to be Thrawn next. And as he thinks he is the main character of this game, no matter who he plays, he decided to kill General Grievous and take over the title of Mandalore again.
Actually, this isn't the first thing that happens. Mace Windu wants to investigate a Sith Lord?
Or, well, no, that's the last thing which happened today.
No, because Mace Windu gets attacked by General Grievous.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So anyway, Thrawn challenges me to the duel, and then Mace Windu comes over to, okay, so the background behind this is on Jango Fett's last day, like, as you were killing him, he decided to tip off the Jedi Council with his 24 Jedi that you were a Sith Lord.
Yeah, because they all happen to have a Force vision, and
Yeah,
they
they all
reported
happen
it
to
to their
have a
higher
Force
up.
vision. Yeah. Also, notice the
Okay.
title of this slide, Grievous and Intrigue. I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh god.
You know why, right?
Yeah, Clone Wars episode.
Yeah, Clone Wars episode. Anyway.
Kind of overrated one, but whatever.
You said, like, over half of those were overrated. But anyway.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe
But it's still my second favorite TV show, so that says a lot about it.
So Mace Windu is sent because Aiden shows up again. Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Count Dooku, and I feel like I'm missing someone, but I'm not. Oh, and Yoda himself go to investigate Chancellor Palpatine. But he's not at his office because he's off getting teleportation powers from the
Yeah, that's
anti-monks.
later.
No, that's
That's later.
that's what happened here.
Okay.
And the assistant says what she knows, and the person, the not assistant,
Secretary.
The assistant secretary says that he's off at the war front over here in Hutt space, which is blue on this map because this is the wrong map. Damn. I think it. Or no, you gave Hutt space back, but anyway, let's just say he's right here at Sneeve. Sneeve, right there. And he's obviously not there because he's over at the Cathal Rift getting
I'm heading
space
there.
powers.
I haven't punched through the Mandalorian space yet.
Or no, you. This is the wrong map again. So
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, Mace Windu tries to contact him, and he does, and then he's like, "Oh, well, actually, I'm on Kuat, surveying the damage from 5 years ago." And Mace Windu's like, "Yep, that sounds perfectly reasonable. Let's go." So they all go to Kuat, and Mason uses his teleportation powers to teleport there.
Wait, yeah, I got my teleportation powers on the day that I blew Jango Fett up. Never mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I teleported Kuat.
So you go to Kuat, and you're like, "Yeah, everything's normal, you know?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay, but I'm going to stay with you as your bodyguard now." And you're like, like in Thor Ragnarok, where Loki notices Thor's back, and then he just like over his shoulder says shit. It's like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. So occasionally I go take bathroom breaks to send out some plans, but
and you go to, or well, actually that's not, or yeah, that is today. So you go to Hapes to try to get a treaty with them to use their ports to fight Mandalore, because that's perfect for that. And
well, I want a prettier map.
yeah,
That's the main
little
reason.
damn yellow dot. Anyway,
Yeah, fuck him.
fuck Hapes. Those women.
Patrick, I didn't say that. You're fucking sexist. That's completely you.
So then, you weren't actually going there for that. You were just going there because you had told me that Mace Windu would be there, so I could kill him. And,
Oh yeah, that.
I confront him, and then, you guys get away. I can't remember any specifics at all from that battle.
Yeah.
Other than Mace Windu being incredibly terrified when he shoved his entire lightsaber straight into my face and it just turned off.
That, yeah.
So then you guys got away, so I didn't kill Mace Windu there. Anyway, I think that's the end of that year. So we're flying through these.
Revenge of the Sith time?
No.
Oh, wait, I skipped. Wait.
24 BBY? Or, yes, Revenge from a Sith. Yes.
Yeah, Revenge. So, oh god. Oh, you didn't have battle screenshots for this one. But,
Yeah, well,
it's,
there's nothing like this.
well, you did something earlier with Carter, but that was a little bit more fake. So basically, me and Wendy were flying out on my shuttle, and we were in upper atmosphere. I was like, fuck, I can't take this guy anymore, and I picked the shuttle because it would look cool. So I ignited my 2 lightsabers and just started to try and fucking kill him.
Yeah. And then, he's actually winning for a while there because he's Mace Windu and you're only Palpatine. And,
I mean, Palpatine's pretty good.
yeah, but we've seen Mace Windu beat him before.
Windu has a form that counters mine, so...
Yeah. So, anyway, you notice you're losing, so then and he even removes one of your lightsabers from your hand at one point. So you start ripping holes in the shuttle walls with your lightsaber. And, this, of course, you're literally in space right now. Or, well, not quite, but, like...
We're below the whatever line, yeah.
Yeah. And now you're both freaking out because one of you is going to die here.
Yeah, it is fucking guaranteed. There's no...
Yeah. And, I was actually...
This is when my Wi-Fi fucking, screwed up.
I was actually leaning towards Mace Windu for this entire fight.
Especially since he had fucking Wi-Fi that worked.
Forgot about that.
And then, so after the lightsaber was knocked out of my hand, I'm like, shit, I need to switch form, where you told me I needed to. So I said forward, but I typed 6, which happened to be perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That was amazing. I don't know why you do 4, though. What was your reason?
Isn't that the, like, just force power onto people one?
That's 6.
I'm a genius. I misread it, but I typed it right anyway. Let's go.
Yeah, 4 is the one with the jumping, like Yoda.
Oh yeah, that's horrible.
No, it's not. It's just you think it is.
No, it's fine, but it's horrible for a shuttle.
Yeah, it is definitely horrible for a shuttle. Anyway, you keep fighting Mace Windu, basically at a draw this entire time, and Windu...
The oxygen starts running out, so when
running out. And then the ship starts exploding because you had hit fuel lines with your freaking lightsaber. And Windu just starts running for the shuttle, or for the pod.
The escape pod, yeah.
And,
there's only one of them,
you start running with him, like neither of you were fighting at this point because you're just trying to get to that damn pod. But wait, Mace Windu, being 40 years younger than you, is slightly faster. So, he gets there first.
He tries to chuck a fucking lightsaber at me while we're running.
And throws the lightsaber after he stops running, but you're still running. And you
I was going to electrocute him while he didn't have...
Right?
Yeah, I was going to electrocute him while he was returning, but I was too late to say that.
Yeah, and so he threw it at you and jumped in the pod. You knock it aside, and then jump into the pod at the very last second, right as he presses the button to launch. So you both get launched out in the pod, and you're in this little tiny crammed pod with a lightsaber. And you can't even have your lightsaber turned on, like, at full length, because it's so crammed because that's not meant for 2 people. And Mace Windu just starts beating your head against the wall because he doesn't
But the
have his
thing
lightsaber
is,
anymore.
then I Jimmy Neutron brain blasted back to the visual dictionary. So I let him continue beating my head against the wall while I suddenly turned the knob on my lightsaber to shorten the length, and I just fucking stabbed him.
That was the most genius way to do that ever.
Yeah.
And
I'm so glad I remembered that. That was
his
great.
last thing before he dies, he pulls your lightsaber out of your hand through his body, and then tries to turn it around to kill you too. But then you just force push it out the window, blowing out the front window, ripping Mace Windu out of the falling escape pod, and breaking basically everything. And then you just casually teleport out.
Yeah, so he was trying to do the thing that Vader did to resurrected Darth Maul, where he stabs through his own gut to kill him, but then I was just like, no, you don't get to fucking do that, you loser. and then after that, I was watching the fireworks as his body burned up on re-entry.
That's so sadistic.
Also, well, I had to know where it landed when you guys would question me. Also, rest in peace, the shuttle pilot.
I know, right?
Imagine you're just piloting a shuttle, and then things start blowing up, so you look back, and then the guy you're piloting has 2 red lightsabers and is fighting Mace Windu, so you're just like, oh shit. And then everything depressurizes, so you fucking die of...
At least he wasn't alive when he burned up on re-entry.
Yeah, the pilot probably is passed out from oxygen depletion.
Yeah.
Lucky dude.
Lucky. Unlike Mace Windu, who got stabbed in the gut, thrown out of a spaceship, and burned up in the atmosphere.
Oh, God.
That might be worse than the laser.
Like in sadism levels, or plan-wise?
I'm not even sure. Maybe both.
Well, if we're going for
Definitely
sadism, well, then go Kiadi if you're talking about sadism.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
holy shit. Yeah.
Most gruesome.
At least Plagueis probably got a quick death unless he survived one of the first 2 methods.
Oh, God. Oh, and then also notice on this map how the Mandalorians are still beating the hell out of the Republic. Even though they've lost 2 rulers at this point. Actually, are they doing better than the last map? I think it's the exact same.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay. That's why this map was wrong, because that was this map.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. 23 BBY. This is where there's a calm before the storm moment.
Yeah.
What? No. Yeah, okay, yes.
Oh yeah, can I talk about the freaking crate plan?
The crate plan. Yes?
Yeah. So basically, I got Ashrod Het, since he's a Tusken Raider, to go dress up as one. Go to the Tusken Raiders and convince them to go kidnap and kill Shmi Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Oh, before this, had become Darth Krayt, except I made him look like Nihilus and pretended he was Nihilus to scare the Jedi.
Yeah.
He had been running around doing shit.
And
Then I tore off his face to make him look like a Tusken Raider again. Then he just got a normal Darth Krayt mask after that.
And the reason the clone troopers are on this slide is because this is when they grow up and join the Mandalorian army.
Oh.
And get all
God.
their cool tricks. So, now...
Spinning?
The meaning? Is that what you just said?
I said spinning, because that's a cool
Spinning.
trick.
Yes, spinning. Mandalorians spin quite often. Anyway, so Anakin's in emotional trouble right now. Oh, and I'm playing Anakin now because I died as General Grievous. And
Oh,
there's
God.
nobody else interesting to play as.
So you became the
Anakin's
chosen one.
Asherad Het or Darth Krait's getting some
Yeah,
kills in.
Yeah, and his face got torn off, but he got a new mask, so...
He's been so mutilated over and over and over again.
Yeah, honestly, he's probably more miserable than Mundi, since that ended quickly.
Yeah, this one lasted for like 8 years.
Oh, also, since he has cybernetic implants and stuff, and since I cut out his tongue, I forgot to mention that, and he lost his arms, I set all of those to be bombs in case I need to kill him at any point.
Yeah.
His tongue is a freaking bomb.
Oh my god.
It also makes him more sensitive to force lightning, which is a little specialty of mine.
So now moving on to 22 BBY. This is
Oh
the
god,
year
22.
of the
epic
attack
one.
of the clones.
Oh god.
This is where Order 66 happens. So basically,
Well, actually, first it was Order 150 what?
yeah, Order 151.
151. So all the clones that are with the Mandalorians start fucking shooting them.
Yeah, so, okay, so what happened was Asherad Het kidnaps the Chancellor, and then Anakin over here saves the Chancellor, just like in Revenge of the Sith, but without Dooku, because he's a goody two-shoes who
So
just
Dooku
happens to
getting
rape
killed.
people's wives and steal their money, because that's what a Jedi does.
And
That might
Pike
be
gets
right,
fucking
actually.
murdered. Yeah. Yeah.
That is kind of like what a Jedi does.
Yeah. I
Anyway.
mean, not necessarily the wives part, but...
Yeah. That was the one I was thinking was more accurate.
That was me and Plagueis that did that for Anakin.
Yeah, but I mean, that... You never know. Something like that's undoubtedly happened somewhere.
Yeah.
Jedi rape.
I mean, Kiadi Mundi fucks everyone's wife, because...
Because he's Mundi. Of course, he's
then-
dead here, so whatever.
For the zero listeners, that's not a fucking joke. That's actually what he does.
I mean, yeah. Not quite. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but still.
Well, anyway,
So, then some stuff happens, and Anakin goes to the dark side, and he has the whole
151
visions
happened.
thing with Padme, who he married like yesterday, in 21 BBY. So
and she
like,
doesn't
later.
find out that he's evil.
Yeah,
She just never does.
she just doesn't find out he's evil. Well, I mean, he's working for the government. I mean,
That's a pretty big evil in itself, but whatever.
Anyway, there's the declaration of the New Order here with the Empire starting, and then now the Order 151. The Emperor calls Order 151. And he's not mutilated, so this is technically wrong, but
Yeah, I am nice and young and sexy.
yes, absolutely, you 66-year-old beast.
Oh god.
So
We're younger than the president.
So
And that'll be accurate even after the
Order
election.
Order 151 happens, and the Mandalorians basically go into another civil war because the clones attack all their Mandalorian brothers, and then at this once that order is called, Duchess Satine, or former Duchess Satine, who is still on Mandalore, is like, "Hey, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." And he goes there on a stealth mission because it would be unthinkable to see a Jedi, helping the enemy.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be, I'm not sure if I have a slide for this. No, I don't. There should be a map on this slide. I just don't have it because there's so many damn pictures. But the Republic had been forcing their might straight towards Mandalore, and today is something called the Siege of Mandalore, and Count Dooku's army, along with I think Kit Fisto, are on Mandalore, fighting the Mandalorians for their homeworld, and then the clones attack. And Bo-Katan and a bunch of Mandalorians help Obi-Wan find Satine during this giant, chaotic three-way battle. And then halfway through it, Order 66 is also called. And now Count Dooku, up in his command center, is being targeted by his droid army and the clones. And because the Jedi had been fighting alongside the droids for this entire war, because the
We're just
droids
never
were, like,
separated,
12.
so.
And the Separatists never left, so that's why. And Count Dooku gets away from the initial strike because he has a force vision of what's going on all across the galaxy at this point, like Yoda in Revenge of the Sith. And he just starts tearing through those battle droids, and then he gets to the hangar and tries to escape through the hangar, but the hangar door is sealed, so he pulls the hangar doors open with the Force, jumps in a ship, and then Kit Fisto's ship, his burning wreckage, rather, crashes into the ship, which Count Dooku is trying to get out of there with.
Wait, Kit Fisto? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he got
For a
shot
second I
down
thought-
by his
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
For a second, I thought you said
Or
Kiadi,
his
and it
droids.
needed to quick.
Soldier droids.
It's definitely not Kiadi, because,
And so, Count Dooku leaves the hangar because there are no ships left. It's just a bunch of vulture droids shooting at him. So he leaves the hangar and goes down to the docking thing, or the port area of
where that one child episode was.
Yeah. And then across the galaxy on Naboo, where the Jedi are building their new temple, Tarkin's fleet just comes out of hyperspace right over the temple and just blasts the shit out of it.
Oh, there happened to not be that many Jedi there, since they were in the old Senate building where I set up a temporary temple for them.
Yeah.
And that's where you come in.
That's where Operation Nightfall happened, and it just with droids, and we killed a couple thousand Jedi.
Yes. Well, speaking of the temple, this was back at the Death Laser, but to avoid suspicion, Alex sent all of his fake Jedi into the Jedi Temple, but then it got lasered, so he lost almost all of them. So
all except for one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
god, that was awful. Well, I mean, he was dead, so it shouldn't have mattered, but
that's right.
He doesn't quite get that.
So anyway.
God, if Savage starts another Mandalorian Empire.
I know, right? Well, I had to kick him because he didn't respond. So.
Oh yeah. So we have a little bit of free time before next phase.
So across the galaxy, the temple gets blown up, and a couple hundred Jedi die there. But Yoda was actually taking a stroll on the outside of the temple when he started getting a seizure from the Force energy from thousands of dead Jedi.
Yeah.
And he witnesses this massive death at the new Jedi temple, and he tries to escape into the wilderness, and he goes to Theed and tries to steal the Queen's ship. Not Amidala, because she is a senator now, but whoever the one after Amidala was, I'm blanking on.
Who cares?
It doesn't matter. So he tries to steal her ship, and he gets there, and there's literally 100 battle droids sitting in that hangar. And he just rips through them because he's fucking Yoda. And some droidecas get in there, he blasts them to bits. Or, well, not blasts, but, force crushes them until...
I mean, they tried to blast him,
know.
so he blasted them,
Yeah, I mean, they've got shields, though, so that doesn't make any
Don't
sense.
worry about it. Speaking of which, Coruscant also has a giant ray shield on top of it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It's very relevant, I promise.
Yeah, there's a ray shield because Alex kept fucking 9/11ing Coruscant. So
yeah, so I had to limit traffic from it and search everyone who entered and exited.
Yeah, thanks, Jango Fett.
Thanks, Django.
So, he actually successfully steals the royal ship, and then the turbo laser batteries start going after him, and like a pack of vulture droids, and then a star destroyer comes in over him, and he's like, well, shit. And then he crashes his ship into the hangar of the star destroyer, and starts going ham on like 30 vulture droids.
I don't understand how he can get a whole Star Destroyer.
And then, I think he jumped onto a vulture droid and started ripping it apart, and then the vulture droid got shot, and then he fell out of the hangar with the vulture droid and landed in the Gungan swamps.
Because they went all the way to Naboo. Oh wait, no, he was all right.
Yeah,
Naboo.
he was at Naboo. Yeah, you're mixing this
where
up
they're-
with the other thing.
Yeah, just too many Jedi temples.
It's not.
I fixed that.
Yeah. You've destroyed 3 of them already.
Oh god.
So he seeks the ability to not die. What is that called? Refugee status with
Yeah.
Boss Leone, and he's like, yeah, I was about to say something in Gungan, but then I realized how horrible it was gonna be.
Yeah, it's a little bit too racist even for you.
It's not racist. They're aliens.
It's a racist caricature, but whatever.
Yeah, it's not. So he goes down there, and they protect him because they're nice people, and then Palpatine's like, well, Tarkin, I'm gonna come over there. So he teleports to Naboo, and I think I'll switch back to Obi-Wan's story now. So Obi-Wan, he is flying out of there with his jetpack and his I'm trying to think of like something. So, the poster for the episode 4. It's like that. Just imagine that, but he's flying with a damsel in distress and with like a jetpack. Like that's him right now.
Oh god.
Thank you, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So the clones all start attacking him, and then there's like LAATs and vulture droids and
Consume these for power. Thank
yum.
you. Bye.
She just gave me salt and vinegar. I will save those.
You should probably mention those salt and vinegar flavored chips.
Yeah, I don't just drink vinegar covered in salt.
I wouldn't be that surprised. But anyway.
I mean, yeah, okay. Anyway, so there's LAATs with the droids, and then there's jetpack clone troopers flying up there with their Mandalorian gear, and they're all attacking Obi-Wan, and he's doing the best he can. I mean, he's literally holding someone in one arm and the lightsaber in his other, and flying around with a thing he doesn't know how to use very well. So, he's trying.
He's doing his best.
So he decides, since they're on both sides of him, he's just going to turn his jetpack off and drop out of the sky. And he does the proper things to not die when he hits the ground. And he starts running through the back alleys of Mandalore. And there's these ATTs running around shooting at him, just collapsing buildings, like walking over buildings and just like shooting at him, and he's like, oh shit, and then he's running as fast as he can, and he finally makes it to the port area, and he sees Carter there, and he's like, hey boyo, let's get out here. Let's get out of here together. And then Bo-Katan and Satine are like, yeah, you do that, please. And Bo-Katan like stays behind because she's important to the Mandalorians, and because she's like a general or whatever at this point because everybody else is dead. So,
oh god.
Yeah. And of course the cloning stuff got destroyed by the clones while they were beating the hell out of the Mandalorians, and then Count Dooku, Satine, and Obi-Wan leave. They get to a shuttle at the port and just like leave. So then
go meet Chewbacca.
Not yet. Well, okay. Yeah. So they go to Kashyyyk and live with the Wookiees for right now, and Chewbacca, because why not? So now Yoda, he last we saw to Palpatine teleported to Naboo to deal with him personally. And Yoda, he mobilizes the entire Gungan army to fight the droid army on the fields of Naboo, just as they did 10 years ago. And Palpatine and Yoda are fighting in the background of that battle. Basically, all the Gungans are slaughtered. It's really bad. And they just start using their epic force powers to hurl flaming logs at each other.
Yeah, I was trying to box them in, but...
Yeah, you were trying to box them in. And it worked. But he was didn't you force freeze him at some point and just tell everybody to start shooting at him, and then he's
I did.
Twirling in midair with his lightsaber, just blocking thousands of blaster bolts. Because he's Yoda. Okay, so Yoda really showed his power during Order 66, though, didn't he?
Yeah. He had some fun.
He did, taking out freaking fleets.
With a good trick.
With a lot of good tricks. I mean, you see his fighting style.
Spin to win.
Much spinning.
Spin to win.
Spin to win. So then, after he does the thing with the blaster bolts, you just decide to grab every tree in the vicinity and just start chucking every single one at him with the force.
Yeah, burning trees.
Burning trees. And then he escapes in the chaos of the giant burning logs flying towards his face, and leaves his cloak behind, so you think he's dead. And it actually worked. You actually thought he was dead.
I mean, yeah, because you sent me a screenshot that made it look like it, but whatever. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I was pretty happy making you think that he was dead. Like, I don't do that usually.
The one time Palpatine gets tricked compared to oh, shit, that happens. Oh god.
No. Now you've just got a reason to kill him harder.
Yeah, exactly. Freaking murdering.
So, I think that was everything for that day. Oh yeah, and then he goes to Kashyyyk too. So now there are like 12 Jedi in Kashyyyk. Because a bunch of other survivors went there as well. So, obviously, in 21 BBY, that makes the Empire start to worry when there's about 12 Jedi all in one place. So, Tarkin goes there with Vader and an entire fleet of Star Destroyers and AT-ATs and TIE Fighters and the whole shebang. And they just start blowing the hell out of the Wookiees. I come in on an LAAT and I'm like, hey, Master, go fuck yourself. And then he pisses me off, so I kill 8 Jedi.
Oh god.
And he's like, well, screw you, you little bitch boy, Vader or whatever. And he throws the LAAT into me, crushing me under a burning wreck.
Yeah.
And I lose 3
And then
limbs.
I banned you from ever fighting those 3 by yourself anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
so I
did
fucking
take
teleported
12
in.
Jedi by myself and came out with 1 limb intact.
Okay.
I think
But
that's
then,
a win.
Maybe. So I teleported in and picked up the ship off of you and chucked it back at Yoda.
And then he just, like, casually dodged it.
Oh god.
And, then you teleported me back up to the Star Destroyer and wanted an orbital bombardment of the entire Wookiee village. Which they did, but not before Yoda and his buddies got an entire army of about 150 Wookiees to get on a bunch of shuttles, go up to a Star Destroyer, and take the entire Star Destroyer from the Empire.
Oh god.
Wookiees versus Stormtroopers. Or, well, still
course.
Stormtroopers.
I'm not sure how they didn't get shot out of the sky before they got up there, but...
Well, they had the shuttle and its codes, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like Rogue One, yeah.
Yeah. Just with hundreds of Wookiees.
Oh god.
uh,
What about the droid attack on the Wookiees,
So-
man?
they took that Star Destroyer while it was heading towards its location for the orbital bombardment.
Oh
And
god.
I had a lot of fun with the basically D-Day sequence, like when they open the shuttle door, and then just hundreds of Wookiees stream out of these shuttle pods, and then like Jedi coming out, like it was basically D-Day but on a Star Destroyer. It was great.
D-Day, but awesome.
D-Day but with lasers.
Oh god.
So, and hairy people. D-Day with lasers and hairy people. So, this, it, that was pretty great. I don't think I've stopped my, timer in, like, a long time.
I mean, we went fast on some of them, and these need extra time because of how fucking glorious they are.
So then they left the system, But as soon as they deviated course, you noticed exactly what was going on, and you were like, "Shit, let's shoot them out of the sky." And
I should just teleport on there and slaughter them all, but hindsight's 2020.
well, I mean, I told you not to though. Like they didn't let us win, so.
Oh yeah,
You
I mean,
just
I also kind of agree
let
with you
them
on that
leave
one.
with
But
some injuries.
yeah, because they're important to my plan later.
Yeah.
But I totally had all I made up by then.
So they just barely make it to the hyperspace point with like 11 Star Destroyers shooting the shit out of them. So
Yeah, and then I was like, hey, they wouldn't be stupid enough to keep that damaged ship, so I won't even bother putting out a call for it. But what do you know? They kept it. A
They're
fucking
geniuses.
burning Star Destroyer.
oh yeah, and then they also hired Cad Bane to kidnap Padme Amidala, and you decided to trade Padme for Baby Yoda, and they accepted. And then you got Padme.
So I
and they
hunted
got
down Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I make sure to say that I mind crushed Baby Yoda so he reverted back to infant, or did I
Yeah.
hold off on that?
I mean, he was already an infant, but
No, but like have the actual mental state of an infant, not of Marion, you know?
I think that's pretty close.
Yeah, but most infants don't try and fucking
Make Death Stars.
yeah, baby Death Stars.
Death Stars made of baby flesh.
Yeah.
It's like llamas with hats, but with Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
So 20 BBY here. That's when Savage Press, who had been an Inquisitor in this universe,
Yeah.
finds Darth Maul, and they get ready to do some shit. And I think that's literally all that happened that day. So then,
Yeah, that was a pretty weekday.
finally, the last year, 19 BBY, the year of Revenge of the Sith, basically nothing happened.
Actually, Patrick keeps throwing this off, but Padme,
Yeah, I was
she
gonna
gets
say
pregnant.
that is the
Oh.
one thing which
Oh.
happened.
Well, I'll still say it anyway. So Padme, she gets pregnant, which I have to do the next part of my deal with Carter, where I send her back to them, and then she gives birth, and then she fucking explodes, and Patrick refuses to resolve after that. So that's where the game's picking up after
Yep.
this. So, also, I told Vader where the guys are, so she just popped, and now Vader's after them. So that'll be a fun duel.
Yeah.
Also, I'm coming with Vader for the record,
So-
so that he doesn't die.
Now let's talk about. Well, do we want to talk about the future?
We can talk a little bit, but I mean, I feel like New Hope will be pretty similar, actually.
Yeah, I mean, not much has changed. I mean, unless Obi-Wan or Yoda screws up really bad, the original trilogy is going to be pretty samey.
Yeah, there'll be some like notable character differences, but like the actual events will probably be about the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, watch Alex fucking become Luke and screw everything up by creating another
I
empire.
know, right? What the hell, dude? If you're
Well-
listening, please, God, don't do that.
Please. I don't know why you like Mandalore so much. They're just some people.
And I mean, hey,
You,
by that point, you'll have killed all of them anyway. So,
yeah, but he'll find a new race to make a freaking war empire out of,
yeah.
like the Wookiees.
The Wookiees. What about the attack of the Wookiees?
Yeah, exactly.
Notice I said of, not on.
Oh god. Oh god.
So there you go. There is that absolutely massive timeline of the first, I think, fifth
Era.
the first era, which I think there are 5. There might be 6 though. So
Yeah.
we've got a while to go.
It depends on how everything turns out.
Yeah. It does. I mean, hey, if Alex summons the Yuzon Vong like he wants, maybe it won't be 6 eras.
Yeah. I don't know what he plans to do with all that, but...
Because if you guys screw up bad enough that the Yuzon Vong kill all of you, the game's over.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do after that.
Yeah. Because you can't play as Yuzon Vong. I made that a rule.
Yeah.
So
that people like Alex don't,
do that.
God, imagine if Alex did hop to the Yuzon Vong instead of Thrawn. Because I know he would. He totally would.
He would totally do that if I would let him.
Oh, it was terrifying.
Yeah, him as the Yuzon Vong, though, would be absolutely horrible. But hey,
Yeah.
I, as the Force, would have an actual reason to be actively hostile towards Alex.
Oh god, that's terrifying.
But I can't even do anything against him if he was the Yuzon Vong, because, I mean, they're immune to the Force. So, except for that one guy. But let's not talk about him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then we had Crate going on at that time, except he's kind of dead.
Yeah. Well, he's only really in this game because he's a cool nod to the Legacy era, but...
Yeah. Since after the Empire falls, it's all going to shit.
Maybe.
I don't know in what way, but...
I mean, I don't think it will, though. Like...
I mean, there's a good chance I just kind of survive.
Yeah.
Because
There it
I've
is.
accidentally become too powerful.
You accidentally become too powerful. Yeah. Just wait until I throw you down that stairwell when you're like 110.
But by then I'll have transferred into a clone body.
Yeah. But I'll throw that clone body down a stairwell.
I'll electrocute you. It's not that hard.
Well...
Ask Crate what happens when you don't listen to my fucking orders, you know?
Yeah, and you can make my hand fall off, you know? Launch that lightsaber.
Yeah, since I have a hidden lightsaber in your arm. So you can Astro Boy punch stuff.
Thanks, Mason.
Well, that's not the original intent. But then you pointed that out and we can't go back.
Yeah. Oh no. Anyway, I can't remember my hotkey to turn this off, so I'm just gonna, like, cut the end of this video out